besties! Welcome back to Girl Call Your Sister.
Where it's our call, you're just listening.
I am Ashlyn, your unhinged favorite little sis.
And I'm Nix, the chaotic big sister with all the drama.
And thank you so much for tuning into episode 8. Can you believe that we're on episode 8, Nix?
It's wild that we've done 7 episodes and this is number 8. I'm so crazy how fast it's gone by. I'm having a lot of fun though.
It's been so much fun, and also I didn't realize how much of my life it would take up, but I am so glad it's filling my life with so much joy.
Right? It's like I'm on my phone more, but like in a better way.
No, in a productive way.
Exactly. I'm like actually getting stuff done. My screen time has gone up, but I'm not mad about it.
My screen time has gone up too, but if you look at where I'm spending all of my time, you would literally LOL.
LOL. LMAO.
Literally. So today, besties, we're here to talk about something that's a little uncomfortable for everyone. So if you get uncomfortable easily, stay. Don't leave.
We'll help you.
Don't leave. But we want to talk about boundaries and how important they are and why you need them, who you need them with, and how they will literally change your life.
Setting boundaries is the gateway to a happy life.
It's so true. Who do you have the biggest problem setting boundaries with?
Myself.
That's a great answer. That is actually really good.
Yeah.
And why would you say yourself?
Because I have a problem with committing to my boundaries that I set with myself. I try to set boundaries with myself, whether it's like my screen time or people who I have in my life. But I am a needy little bitch. I listen to those little voices in my head too much, and I just lean in and sabotage myself a lot by doing that. I'm really good at setting boundaries with other people and making sure they uphold those boundaries. But when it comes to me, myself, and I, it's a little bit more challenging. What about you?
Ooh, I actually don't have a problem setting boundaries for myself. That's one thing that I learned very quickly. I don't feel like I have a hard time setting boundaries. I would say that I used to. I was a yes person. I was a people pleaser. I didn't want to make anyone feel upset. I said yes to everything, regardless of if that meant I missed dinner or I missed this or I missed this, because I was such a yes man.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm working on being a no person. 2025 is my year of no, and I'm not gonna put up with that shit.
Oh, good. Snaps for Ashlyn.
It's been really difficult, but all of the boundaries that I have put in place for myself and others around me, whether they know that I have a boundary with them, it has been very beneficial in all walks of life.
I love that. Before we start getting too deep into it, let's do our mental health check-in. Ashlyn.
You first.
Me first. Okay.
Yes.
So I would say right now I'm like a pretty solid 8 because I get to come in town this weekend and see you. And I'm so excited to go and spend time with my family in Texas. My life is so chaotic right now, trying to get everything ready to go and get my house ready, trying to get my kids ready to like, live life without mom for a week. They're really self-sufficient, so it's not too bad. It's just mostly like all of the situations that can come up when you're out of town. Like one time when I was out of town, Maxwell had to go to the emergency dentist because he shattered an entire tooth. And so I'm just like, uh
You just like pray and hope for the best that nothing
no,
bad happens.
literally. I'm like, I'm gonna be 2,000 miles away. I know you guys can hold the fort down, but please no emergencies while mom's gone. Like, that's just like bare minimum. No emergencies, please. But you
And
never know.
one good thing about you that not a lot of people have is a great husband and a great father.
Oh my God.
So when you go out of town, there's not much that you have to worry about. So
Yeah, that's so true.
love
Like, we love that. Kudos to Sean.
Sean.
um,
You heard it here first.
I mean, see, it's great that he works from home, but also my kids are also doing online school at the same time. So when they both have meetings or like school that they're doing at the same time, and so it's not really. I'm not worried about that or anything like that. I know they've got that on lockdown. It's mostly just like, don't get on your iPad when you're done with school and just fuck off the whole time, Like that's the thing. Go outside. We have a great yard. Go play. And
And it's beautiful.
I know that they're not going to do that because I'm usually the one that's like keeping that on lockdown. So
Keeping the schedule and the routine, and
and it's full, and when I
it's
come back,
slow.
yeah, the flow of everything. And I just know that whenever they get too much screen time, they turn into complete monsters. And I just don't want to have to come back and deal with that while I'm recovering from surgery because I'm going to be out for the count when I get back. But Avery knows how to cook. They both clean, they both do their laundry, they both like take care of the pets. Like they've got all of that down. It's really just like the mental load of figuring out how to entertain themselves when mom's gone, you know?
Guess what? That won't be your problem.
It's
When I
not
do
my
a
problem.
check-in on Saturday, a mental health check-in when you get here, I'm gonna be like, what level are you at?
Oh no.
You're gonna be like, level 10, biatch.
I'm about to be like, level, give me 6 margaritas. I'm gonna
Level
open
give me
my
six.
legs. Give me 6 margaritas. Oh, yeah.
Mm. So, a solid 8, but just feeling a little anxious.
A little bit of anxiety. Like I went and got all my prescriptions that I'm going to need after my surgery, and I'm running errands, getting stuff ready for that, getting some things prepped for the house, all the making sure they don't have to go to the grocery store when I'm gone. I'm just trying to be a good mom even when I'm not here.
Oh my gosh, you do the most.
I do. I do.
Calm down over there. You're making the rest of us look
I
great.
know. I'm like, I want to make sure you have your favorite creamers and pot, you're stocked up on your protein. And
Okay, so when you're in town, I'm gonna need you to do that stuff for me.
Oh, I will. I ordered a bunch of protein to be delivered to Dad's house so we can share that. It's my
What
favorite.
kind?
It's Dairy Gold protein. It's chocolate. He's got 2 cases of it showing up at his house tomorrow. So I like to put it in my coffee and chug that shit. I'm gonna share it with everyone because it's so good. And I have
That's
to have a lot
very,
of protein after my surgery anyway. So
that's very nice of you. You're just like, they're not gonna have the right shit.
no,
I'm just
I'm
gonna,
not like I
I'm
don't
gonna
want to be
send it
like
there.
I don't want you to go grocery shopping for me, so I'll just buy what I want and bring it or
I
have
love
it
that.
delivered to your house.
And then we'll obviously have Bueno while you're here.
Oh my God, yeah.
Anything else you would like to do while you're in Texas?
While I'm there, I really just want to hang out with people and get some food that I don't get to get here, like Taco Bueno, McAllister's, like good fajitas and queso. You know, what else? What else do they have there? Maybe some barbecue. I'll get some barbecue one day.
Well, I did tell my bestie bartender at Torchy's. She makes the best drinks. Shout out Mary. You don't even know that I have a podcast, but shout out to Mary because she is the best and you will be obsessed with her. And I told her you were coming in town and that we would come and have some drinks when
Yeah,
you're in town. So
let's do it. We're
let's
gonna go see
do
Mary.
that.
All right, let's do your check-in. How are you?
Today is Tuesday. We normally podcast on Mondays or Tuesdays or sometimes both. Last night we didn't have podcast. I would have said that yesterday my day was probably a 2.
Yeah.
Today I am probably a 12.
We love that. We're on top of the world.
And do you want to know why I'm a 12?
Yeah, please share us. Share it with us. Tell us.
It's because I'm starting to lean in to sharing my story and what actually goes on in co-parenting life.
Yeah.
I am going to start being very raw about it. I'm going to be very honest. I feel like when I look for content online, you obviously try and find somebody or something that you can relate to, and that's your purpose of following them. You either like their style, or you like their workout regimen, or their beauty routine, like whatever it is. But I think a lot of people forget to tap into their mental health a lot. And I am one of those people. I have a really hard time going in and out of depression spells, if you want to call them, and getting out of them. And I think that the best way for me to feel good about myself and to be honest with myself is to share those stories with people that can also relate to them.
Oh, yeah.
What I had a really bad day yesterday, so I don't have Cinco on Mondays and Tuesdays. So what I did is I took a Xanax, I made myself a bubble bath, and I posted anonymously on a Facebook group.
Oh my gosh, those Facebook groups where you can like be anonymous and share your truth. That's like such a pure form of therapy that nobody talks about because it's just other people rallying behind you to just be like, "Yes, queen, speak your
It
truth."
it was that, and it was also being a keyboard warrior to the people that just don't have any awareness to life. They post mean things that they know nothing about. The group that I posted in, I'm not going to say what it is, but I felt seen. I felt heard, even though they didn't know it was me. It was very therapeutic. I said everything that I wanted to say, how I was feeling. I got it all out. And highly recommend everyone just taking a bubble bath and posting anonymously on your local Facebook group.
I love that. See,
It's
today you're
safe.
at a 12 because you did that. Isn't that
Yeah,
cool?
I'm a new person. I'm anonymous 287. I don't. They gave me a number. I don't remember what it
They
was,
gave
but
me a number. I don't remember.
I don't
That's
remember what it
funny.
was. But also, I know that a large following of mine is males, and so if there's anything that I can post or talk about that can maybe help them from their point of view, if they have questions about things, I think maybe I might start doing better about going through my notifications and talking to people if they have concerns or just something they're going through. I promise you that either me or Nix has probably gone through it, or we can give you some insight. If not, we are really good about research, especially when it comes to mental health and co-parenting and just life in general, being a mom. I just feel like I'm going to start sharing everything. So if you follow me now and you hate me,
Oh,
you just wait, babes. You
we
just
have
wait.
a lot of wisdom between the two of us because we have such different life experiences with parenting, with co-parenting, with our marriage, with relationships, with even relationships with our family members. Like we have very different relationships with various
All
people.
of them.
Yeah. Literally. It's because we have a lot of different things to offer to different people.
We
And
do.
when you bring us together, you get magic and you get chaos and you get beauty and you get rawness and
Also,
realness.
I want to also put this out there. since we're on episode 8 and y'all are still getting to know us, some of it y'all have known me for a very long time. I'm not a girl's girl. If you thought I was, I'm not. I'm a person's person. If you're a good person, I'll ride for you. Just because you have a vagina and tits does not mean we will be besties.
Oh, no, not at
If
all.
you're a shitty person, you're not a girl's girl.
Yeah. Sorry.
And I just want to say, like, moms, parents, co-parents, whoever, we gotta stick together. Okay?
Oh, yeah. I was recently like called out by somebody who used to be my friend for not being a girl's girl while helping them through a situation that was really challenging. And she was like, I thought you were a girl's girl. I thought you were. I was like, no, honey, I am not a girl's girl. You are not right in the head right now. And in order to help get things situated, I need to help your kids. I need to help your kids more than I need to help you right now. And if that sucks, I'm sorry, but it sucks to suck. Your kids are more important in this situation than you are.
There's this saying that I have been saying for a couple of months now, and it's just, I wish that people would love their kids more than they hate me.
Oh, show up for your fucking kids, bro. Like, that's one thing that we've been talking about a lot with some
In this
people.
podcast, we
Yeah,
show up and we show out for our kids.
we show if there is nothing I hate more in this entire world is a mother or a father who does not show up for their kids in the way that their kids need to be shown up for. And every kid needs different things that they need from their parents. And if you aren't willing to adjust and create a safe environment for your children, a welcoming, happy space for your children, you're fucking dead to me, bro. Like, I don't care who you are. Show up for your fucking kids first and foremost.
And I think that people don't understand what showing up for your kids is. That doesn't mean showing up to a basketball game. That doesn't mean showing up to a party at school. Of course, those things are awesome and those things are great. But what are some other ways to show up for your kids? What are some examples that you can think of off the top of your head?
Being emotionally intelligent, for one. Having emotional intelligence, um, having the ability to not react to something that's happening just because you feel impacted by it. Um, Reacting in a way that's going to be beneficial and a learning experience for your children. Okay? Your children are a mirror of you.
Yep,
And the best way that you can show up for them is by being an example of how to handle things,
yep,
whether it's cleaning. Be an example of your kids for how to pick up for things. Don't just go and be like, hey, clean your fucking room. Your room's a
yeah,
fucking mess. And then you walk into your room and you can't walk into it. Like, how are your kids going to be like, yo, why does my room have to be clean, but yours doesn't? Okay,
right.
that's simple. Okay, your kids don't know how to put the dishes away. Okay, how are they going to learn? By you showing them the steps it takes to put the dishes away. It's putting in the time, it's putting in the energy, it's putting in the effort, it's having conversations, it's patience, it's gentleness.
You know what else comes with all of the things that you just said? With showing up for your kids is also leading by example. And
Hmm.
a really good way that a parent can lead by example is set boundaries.
Boundaries.
Full circle. Wah, 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 wah! I,
Boundaries.
we need a soundboard. We need a
I've
soundboard.
literally been saying this so much. Like, I want to get a soundboard for when we're doing our podcast so I can either add it in when I'm editing or we can do it live.
We want to just talk about boundaries, whether it's with the family, dating life, mom life boundaries, parenting boundaries. I think we can start with parenting boundaries. I think I have an almost 6-year-old, and one thing for me, a boundary for me that was really difficult because me and my ex separated when he was so young. I was always just used to doing things for him without ever showing him how to do it. I just did it because honestly, it was easier for me. It's easier if I do it. I don't want to sit here for 30 minutes and watch you try and put on shorts. Like, time is money. Money is my currency. Like, energy is my currency. So I think that was the biggest and hardest boundary that I continue to work on every single day. Also, I just love the crap out of my son, and I would do anything for him, literally. So him going into school and going to daycare and then going into pre-K and all of the things that he's doing, he's actually doing really well because he is learning some of those things. And a big thing that I teach him is respect, honesty, and talking it out and listening.
Oh, yeah.
And I speak to him like he's an adult. And what I mean when I say that is I speak to him with respect. I speak to him how I would have liked to been talked to when I was his age. What are ways that I can help him understand something new that he's not familiar with? And if I feel like I used a big word, I'm like, do you know what this word means? Okay, no. Because if you just say, did you hear me? Did you hear what I said? They're going to say yes. Yeah. Can I go back to playing now? No, but like, did you hear me? What did I say? Have them repeat it back to you. Like, we're trying to raise them to be normal human beings. Not that we're not normal, but just, I want him to just have a better understanding of life and emotions and how to interact with people when he's a grown-up, because ugh,
Oh, yeah,
being a
totally.
parent is scary.
One of the biggest boundaries I had to set with and for my kids when they were little was a physical touch boundary. Because we grew up in a family where even if you didn't want to hug somebody when you were saying goodbye, you kind of were forced to do it just because it would make the other person feel better. And I was really the first person that had kids that whenever my kids would go and see like grandma or great grandma or aunts or something, when we were leaving, those family members would expect hugs from my children. And with us living so far away, my kids didn't really know them very well. So I did not expect them to hug or touch or kiss like grandma on the cheek if she wanted it. If they said, no, I don't want to do it, that was it. Like, you're not going to force a touching boundary on them that they do not want. It was not something that I tiptoed around with people either. Whenever we were in situations where we were in Texas and we were seeing people and they were like, oh, come give me a hug, say goodbye, say goodbye. And my kids were starting to show any discomfort with it, I'd be like, you don't have to hug them if you don't want to. It's okay. And I think that setting that sort of like physical touch boundary with children when they're young is so important because it helps them to learn how to say no to things that they don't want when they're adults or when they're older, like when they're teenagers. And it when you don't want to be touched by somebody, you don't have to be touched by them. And that's something that you would think is common sense, but it's really not, especially in the South where people are so touchy feely and lovey dovey. And sometimes in older generations, if you don't do exactly what you're told to do, it's a form of disrespect. And I think that was a way of not intentionally manipulating people, but it is used as a way of manipulating. Oh, you don't want to say goodbye to me? You don't want to hug me? Oh, that's going to hurt my feelings. And I hate that kind of shit. Like, it drives me nuts and it hit me to my core especially when I was seeing my young babies feeling uncomfortable about not wanting to hug somebody. And every bone in my body was just like screaming, like, no, this is not okay. And I made sure my kids know that it was, if they don't feel comfortable with it, they don't have to do it. And another way I was able to kind of set those boundaries within my home was with breastfeeding. I did extended breastfeeding with one of my kids, and there were times when he was able to get his food, his nutrients and stuff for the day, and I just did not want to be touched. I was touched out for the day. I was a stay-at-home mom who was breastfeeding, homeschooling. I had a husband who I like to get touched by, but at the same time, I'm
That's a
just like,
lot.
but you just reach a point where you're just like, I'm sorry, but I can't breastfeed you right now. Let me go and take care of some things, get my mind right, and then when I feel ready, I will let you know when it's time to breastfeed again. And when you're 2 years old, that is something that is difficult, but it also helps them to flex that muscle of being disappointed, because disappointment is a muscle that needs to be flexed and worked out in order for it to work for you. Because being
Guys, this is
disappointed,
gonna be a Nix heavy episode because she knows her shit, okay? Okay? She is wise. Let her go off. Go off. Like, Nix, I'm here at your TED Talk. Like, I don't even want to speak. Like, you are crushing this.
dude, like
Like,
being disappointed is
you
just a
need a
part of life.
margarita or something instead of water.
No, literally. Like being disappointed is just a part of living life. And if you don't know how to flex your muscle of being disappointed, you're never going to get anywhere in life, bro. Like it's just not going to happen. You're going to run into disappointment time and time and time again. So setting boundaries with your kids from an early age is so important, and also helps them to learn how to set their own boundaries.
And I love that that's yours because, as we stated early on in the podcast, me and Nix are very different and we have very different views. And you know what? I am that person. If you just met me and I'm leaving, I'm going to come up to hug you. And the difference between what Nix is talking about and what I'm talking about is I am the person. I should probably be asking them if it's okay to hug you. I normally say, I'm a hugger, bring it in, let's go. If they're like, okay, I can read a room. I know what that
Yeah,
means.
that's
Like you said.
different from like an adult doing it to another adult, and the other adult being able to express whether or not they want to hug somebody, versus a toddler who is just like trying to people please but also uncomfortable in a situation. That's completely different.
And that's what I wanted to say. Keep going.
What are some boundaries that you have learned to set with like your friends when it comes to your time?
That's not something I have ever mastered. I would say, honestly, like my adult years, I would not call myself a good friend. I would not ever say that I was being a good friend in that moment. That's something that I am really trying to lean in and work on and kind of self reflect on is I only showed up when I had news or something to talk about myself about. I never was a friend to reach out and be like, what's going on with you? Like, I don't want to talk about me. Like, I've realized in my 30s that I am not a good communicator, and I don't necessarily want to make excuses for not being a good communicator. However, when someone is battling depression or anxiety, everyone handles it differently. There's not a book for each person. There is not a podcast for each person. There's not anything that is set that this is depression, this is anxiety. Everyone's going to have their different versions of what that is for them. And I have gone through a lot of hormonal changes over the last couple of years. I've gone through a divorce. I've lost a lot of people in my life because of said divorce. I've lost people in my life not because of the divorce, just because they're not in my life anymore. So keeping my circle small and knowing the people that understand me and actually see me and know that I am doing my best and working my hardest at just trying to be a good mom. I put nothing above my child. There is nothing that goes above him. And I will not be able to be a good mother if I am not taking care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And taking care of yourself on your really hard days, especially when you have your child, is a task. There's nothing like it when you are having a bad day and you just can't tell them, like, mommy wants to just go to sleep right now. Like, I don't want to make you dinner. Like, I'm too tired. That's not how parenting works.
Mm-hmm.
Showing up is parenting. I will put on a brave face for my child, but I will also let him know how I'm feeling that day. Mommy is having really big feelings today, Bubs. So
Mm-hmm.
just try and be patient with me. Do you know what the word patient means? Yes? Okay. So I'm also explaining those feelings to my son, but I'm also figuring out what those feelings feel like for myself.
And how
And
to express those to your friends.
yeah, and that's when I got diagnosed with depression and anxiety, it was in my early 20s. It was 15 years ago almost. Like, it isn't what it is now. It's not, it's almost like glorified now. If you have anxiety or depression, like, you're one of three, like something like that. I was actually hospitalized for my depression, and a lot of people don't know that about me. I was in a really dark place, and that was something that really helped me. I saw psychiatrists, I saw therapists, I saw many doctors, tried very different many medications. I have always been trying to dig myself out of a hole.
Mm-hmm.
Wherever that hole is, I was trying to dig myself out of it. And I'm tired of just feeling like my mental health is an excuse. But to other people, it's an excuse, not to me. Like, I'm not giving you excuses. I'm giving you facts about how I feel today. I recently, just a couple of months ago, had to lay it out for my friends and tell them, like, I'm not ignoring you. I love you. I know that we're all going through shit, and I'm sorry for not checking in. I have my son either 2 days a week or 5 days a week, and during that time that I don't have him, I
You need to take.
probably am sleeping. I'm
No, I
probably
totally
sleeping.
get that. Uh, See, I think that I've reached a point in my life where I don't want to have friendships or any kind of relationship with people if I'm constantly feeling like I have to explain myself to them and they can't just meet me where I am. If I am having a depressive moment episode and I need to be in my hole in my room under the blankets and you can't respect that I can't show up for you at that time, sorry, it's not going to work out. Like, you need to understand that I'm going through it. Either show up for me in a way that I need you to show up for me or hit the fucking road. I'm just too old.
You're
I'm
too
not
old
at
for
an
this shit.
age where I feel like I'm meant to live an uncomfortable life, you know? And like I I am so good at showing up for other people in my life. And if I can't get the same common courtesy from people in my life, then I just don't think that you're going to be in my life for the long haul. I think you're just a seasonal friend, and that's okay. It was great while it lasted, and I'll have fond memories of our time together. And That's about it. Because I have to be able to deal with my own emotional baggage that I have without having to feel like people are going to be gossiping about me and talking shit about me behind my back and not showing up for me even when I'm not there.
Right.
And if you're not grown enough to realize that, I'm just you're not I don't want that kind of energy in my life.
I think another part of the adult thing and navigating the friendships that um where it's not that you're not telling them everything or that you're not sharing everything, but you get to a point where it's like, God, all I'm doing is just complaining, and I don't want that to be viewed as oh, she's just negative all the time. So it's just how you perceive yourself as well. It's you want to give the best version to the people you love the most, and a lot of the time when you have depression or anxiety, a lot of the time those parts of you are not happy. They're not good. There are problems, and I'm trying so hard to be positive, and I'm trying to just spin everything into a different mindset. That's literally what I'm doing, is just shifting my mindset, because whatever I'm doing is not working, and it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. And guess what? Like, I know I'm going to work on that. And being a people pleaser, I was showing up to things that I had no business to show up to because I was so tired and I needed to rest, but I went and I did it. And then I'm like, for what? Like, I'm just going to spiral later. Protecting my peace these days is way more important than anything. And honestly, this podcast and just being able to talk to you and have new friends on the internet that kind of understand where we're coming from, or if they don't, they at least think we might be funny. At least, maybe, hopefully, or think we're hot or something. Sometimes our boobs are out.
You might see a
Not on
nip slip
purpose. We were just
occasionally.
blessed.
No, I totally get what you're talking about, like with feeling like you have to show up all of the time for people, because that was something that to show up to events and stuff, not show up for people, but to always just go to the next dinner, go to the next party, go to the next show, go to this, go to that. I felt like a lot of that was because I had FOMO, like I had a fear of missing out on making memories with people. But then when I would come home, I would just crawl into a hole because I needed to recharge. And if it wasn't going to be something that was going to bring energy and life and light into me, I didn't want to go. But I also want to be able to have friends that if I am going through a hard time, if I want to vent about what's going on, they're going to listen to me and they're going to help me talk it out and talk it through with me. And if they don't want to talk about it, then I want them to have the maturity to set those boundaries for when we're hanging out. You know, like just speak your mind and let me and be honest with me, and and don't feel like every time I have something going on in my life and I'm talking about it, that's me just being negative. That's just me sharing my life with you. And when you complain about that and I end up not coming around or not opening up about things and stuff like that, and you get surprised about it, it's probably because you didn't feel like a safe space for me to do that anymore. So that's a boundary that I have to work on setting for myself as well, you know? So it goes both ways. I feel like if you want to be in a place where you can set healthy boundaries with me, I need to be able to do the same thing with you. And we need to be able to listen to each other's needs and desires and wants from this relationship, or we're not going to meet each other where we need to be.
Holy shit, y'all. Like, move us to the health podcast section. We should not be in comedy. We are.
I think this is funny as fuck.
I think that this is just so healthy. I think, honestly, when we started this podcast, my little thing was going to be like unhinged middle child energy that never gets attention, makes it about herself. But honestly, I'm looking in the mirror and I'm like, yo, that is me, but like not all the way. Like,
Yeah, we
don't
have.
lean in so hard. Like, find your footing over here.
It's like
Where real life is.
it's like with Shrek. You know, you got to pull back the layers of the onion and figure out what's underneath, bro.
I'm just like the Grinch and I'm going to take a bite into that raw onion. Okay, I know that we have touched on a lot of things in a very short amount of time, but we're not done with this. I hope
No,
you know
we
that.
have so much more that we want to talk about and dive into. We didn't really realize how passionate we are about this boundaries topic until we started talking. And then we looked at our watches and we realized that the Dallas Stars are about to play. And so we are going to do a part 2 of boundaries.
We're just going to dive a little bit deeper, and if you felt like you got a little bit called out today, good. That's healing. And hopefully, a few of you can actually use some of our advice and start setting boundaries, block whoever you need to block, or don't. It's on you. It's
No,
on you to make your own rules, babes.
you are in total and complete control of who you let into your life on a day-to-day basis. And I believe in your ability to set healthy boundaries for yourself, for your family, for your relationships. And don't be afraid to speak your mind and speak your truth, because everything you're feeling is valid and it needs to be respected.
Besties, please just to remember that no is a sentence.
No is a
No,
full sentence.
no is a full sentence.
Um,
Once you realize that, it will all just fall into place. So, besties, don't forget to drink your water. Don't forget to do your makeup in the morning. Don't forget.
call your sister. Leave a comment of a boundary you've set this week with somebody. I want to hear what new boundaries you have implemented into your life. Okay?
Or if it's really spicy, just send it to our Instagram DMs so both me and Nix can read it.
Maybe we'll
And
share it anonymously.
you'll never, ever, ever know who's responding to you. Is it me or is it Nix? That's the best thing about our Instagram page. So please go rate, review, subscribe, all of the things. Go follow our playlist that we made.
The Girl Call Your Sister playlist on Spotify. Woo!
Boop, 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 boop. And that is it.